in person live with QQ Stifu.
Absolutely, it's great to be here. Yeah, we just finished up our pizza party, and now we're ready for an Ori watching party. So I hope y'all are psyched. This next race coming up is sure to be a treat because we have Sigma and Hydra, both of which have gotten PBs very recently and are currently within 5 seconds of each other.
Yeah, that's right. Sigma's most recent PB was, I think, today. Is that right?
Yeah, earlier today he PB'd by, I believe, 0.2 seconds.
Yep, but a PB is a PB no matter how small, et cetera, et cetera. Someone can paste the copy pasta. Even though it was only a 0.2 second PB, his time was a 31:23, a phenomenal time. And Hydra's PB is just a little bit faster. He got it, I don't remember exactly when, within the past week, just a few days ago, I think. His time is a 31:18, so about a 5-second difference between their PBs. Certainly close enough where, for the purposes of this race, you can consider them pretty much exactly tied.
Absolutely, and especially if you consider different parts of the run. Hydra is very, very strong early game. I've been talking to him recently, and if he gets less than a Slurpee dash, or higher than a Slurpee dash, I should say, a 7-minute, 11-second dash, he is disappointed in his run. Whereas Sigma is almost like the god of late game. I believe we compared recently everyone in the community's overall golds, and I believe Sigma holds like 3 or 4 of the late game overall like best golds in the community.
Does he really?
Yeah, it was pretty nuts to look at that spreadsheet and just see who came out on top there.
That is incredible. You can see the stats screen right now, Hydra on the left, Sigma on the right, and if you look at the bottom, you can see that they both have pretty solid stats, excuse me, not strats, stats on the strats. Say that 1,000 times in a row.
Thank you.
Yeah, for Grotto Skip, Sigma's only failed once, Hydra's failed 4 times. I guess I don't need to go through and read them all one by one. The point is that they are very, very good, and sort of my view of this race upcoming is that these two have not gotten to the semifinals by accident. They put a lot of time in practice, and not only just sort of grinding out runs in general, but like you mentioned, Sigma's been doing dedicated late game practice. They've been trying to pick up some of the newer strats and just really knock these times down as low as they possibly can. And their work has been clearly paying off with their PBs.
Absolutely. And speaking of, late game strats like that, I believe Sigma has a new Sorrow Bash that he is going to maybe show off for us today. So we'll be sure to point that out when we get there. It's something that I believe has been said that was only like task viable previously, but Sigma, went back in and said like, oh, there's a setup that could actually work. So maybe we'll see that out of him. Let's see. So we're trying to see how close we are to getting started here. But before we do, any sort of last thoughts or on the race coming up?
Last thoughts. I'm excited. We've got 2 absolute champions going against each other here. I mean, it's really impossible to predict, I think, what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if anything, like I was saying earlier, I guess I would maybe expect, as long as both the early games go cleanly, no costly deaths or anything. Maybe Hydra takes a slight lead, and Sigma pulls it back over the course of the race. And if that is what happens, Sigma is obviously no stranger to that. He came from behind in his last victory and showed just an absolute steady, almost no mistakes late game, and pulled his previous win almost out of thin air. So maybe we'll see the same thing this time.
Right. One of my favorite things about watching runs at this high a level, not only just watching the pure skill of the players on their own, but it can be so fascinating because at this level, you make the tiniest little mistakes and that can potentially cost you the entire race. I mean, I'm sure we'll see minor mistakes here and there. Maybe we'll see the lead change a few times, but I mean, you have to play just God level to win these races at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like we're off to the races here. And the first thing to notice, do we have any color codes? It looks like no. Looks like we have some plain Jane white Oris going down to pick up Sign.
That's probably good. I mean, fun as color codes are, it's possible to get the dark purple color that I think Heck got at the start of this race last time.
And going into Misty, he had a dark blue, which I was pretty concerned about. Thankfully, it didn't pose any trouble for him in the past race.
Mm-hmm. So I guess of all the challenges of Ori, at least they'll be able to see the character. I wouldn't expect too much deviation in the early game. You can just run and jump so that you have sort of limited options to really pull ahead. I'm pretty sure that both of these guys are going to be going for 3 HP.
I don't know for sure, but I would definitely think so at this stage in the tournament.
I certainly know that they go for 3 HP in PB attempts, and ordinarily there would be a difference, or there could potentially be a difference between PB attempts and race attempts. For instance, you might go for Fast Froggy Walk in a PB attempt, but you might not in a race. However, at this level, you need all the time save you can get, so I would be surprised if you saw both of them go for 4 health. I guess we'll find out soon. About
30 seconds, I believe. You see Hydra abusing his scroll wheel a little bit as he makes his way through here, spamming down some enemies. That doesn't help him at all. It's just something I guess he likes to do to maybe calm his nerves as he's going in.
Right. Neither one of them got Troll Flower. It looks like we did see a slight color code from Hydra. He's kind of blue now. It doesn't really make much of a difference, but I mean,
it's fun. He actually went through about 5 colors during the sign animation looking for one he liked. So clearly searching for this teal, and hopefully it pays off for him.
Kind of gives you something to do sometimes during the little mini cutscenes. You can still change your color.
Yeah, for sure. And a nice adaptation on that damage boost from Hydra. He went a little too early. He got knocked back down and then killed the slime so that he wouldn't... Oh, he actually had an extra health. So maybe if he hadn't killed it, he would have been at 1 health for that ghost door.
My goodness, they are still just neck and neck. They had, I think, the same number of health for the ghost door. At least it looked the same. They are both going 3 HP as expected. Hydra with, my God, like maybe a half-second lead or something. They're just neck and neck.
Yeah, and he does manage to dodge the damage on that slime, so he'll be able to do a damage boost in about 20 seconds or so. I didn't catch Sigma's health, so we'll see if he's able to do the same damage boost through the bramble wall.
We will find out. We'll also see if they get the level up on the way up or the way down. My God, if not for the color difference, you might almost think we're watching the same stream. Looks like Sigma got his level up on the way down. Hydra, I'm pretty sure, did not, so the beginning is on the way up.
I did not see it either.
It doesn't make much of a difference.
It doesn't, however, the thing I guess I will point out, talking to Hydra beforehand, he did mention that he would potentially go for Fast Froggy Walk if his experience lined up perfectly, just by chance. And when you level up on the way out, it is, at least in my experience, significantly harder to set up your experience properly. So maybe a sign that he will not be going for that.
A sign?
Oh my gosh.
that was nice. Unintentional.
Those wall jumps were just like, frame for frame. That was so cool when they went up that wall.
I cannot believe this. This isn't surprising that they're both this close to each other early game, but I mean, they are so close. They're almost frame for frame. Hydra having to take out a few extra brambles.
And there's the first mistake. It looks like Hydra did level up on the way down.
Oh, well, commentary is impossible.
Absolutely.
Well, one thing to point out, for anyone familiar with the Aura run, you know that your experience route is important for quite a while. And a moment ago, I mentioned that you might have differences between your PB strats and your race strats. And Fast Froggy Walk is something that even top runners like Hetfield didn't go for Fast Froggy Walk in his last run. I guess that's because he did the new route, but I don't think he would have gone for it anyway. Hydra did confirm that he is going to try to go for Fast Froggy Walk if his experience is correct. So his XP route is even a little bit more important than usual. He has to be very precise about it in order to have the best chance at succeeding at Fast Froggy Walk.
Yeah, absolutely. Hydra showing a little more as he's going through a couple of those slime dodges. He actually does that a little differently than most people. He kills more of those slimes. It looks like he's highlighting his experience. Oh, he's at 30, which is actually ideal. So maybe, so he did, 39 experience. Oops, I can't read apparently. So it's a little low for Fast Froggy Walk, but maybe he will go for it. He was clearly highlighting it for us to see.
Right. Well, he has Blackroot Burrows yet to try to maybe manipulate his experience a little bit. You can kill some slimes or not kill some slimes in different places. Both of them working through it. This is, as always, I don't want to curse anyone, which I will probably do, but Blackroot Burrows is a very scary area, kind of no matter how skilled you are. These jumps are pretty precise, and it's even scarier when you're at only 3 health rather than 4. It's pretty easy to take a little spike bath and have a bad time if you're not careful.
Yeah, everything looking smooth here. Hydra especially, you've noticed he starts to pull away just a tad from Sigma, just a handful of seconds, but a lot of it's just from tiny movement optimizations. One thing I guess to point out, whenever he's doing these jumps onto the top of platforms, he's doing what's called a neutral jump to get to the top. And what it does is just let you land a little quicker and sort of initiate your next movement more quickly. And so the whole thing just sort of speeds up all of that movement section as you go through.
The other important thing to point out about Blackroot Burrows is that it's very much cycle-based, and the cycles start, I think, right when you enter Blackroot Burrows. So even though Sigma was a little bit behind Hydra there, he still got the same cycle.
Yeah, absolutely. So no major time losses. I think there are, when you're on that left side picking up the orb, I think the right side is actually despawned, so if you move quickly through there, I think you can save a little bit of time.
Hydra got up to his lever without...
This is almost insanely quick. That was a 625 or 26 lever pull. If I saw that correctly, that is pretty nuts. And he's gonna get this orb placement before 640. So yeah, this is I think around a 710 or maybe even sub 710 dash.
We'll see
if I'm remembering my timings correctly.
This is similar to what you said too. You predicted that Hydra is going to take a slight lead in the early game, and that seems to be exactly what's happening as they both mess with their mouses. I wonder if they're spelling anything out or just...
Looks like we got X's from Hydra, and I didn't catch what Sigma was doing.
Strange alien Sigma symbol from Sigma.
Yeah, my mouse reading. Oh my gosh, 7-8 dash. That is,
dear God,
almost like the best that you can get at a human level. And Sigma coming in about 715 or so. So yes, Hydra just showing these little tiny movement optimizations that allowed him to gain this little lead. And now I guess sort of the moment of truth coming up here in 10 to 15 seconds, if he is going to commit to fast Frankie, or if he maybe thinks this early game has been so good, he doesn't want to risk a big time loss, and he knows he's probably ahead of Sigma, so maybe just wanting to pull that through. Unfortunate movement on the Frankie. And again, okay, it finally gets up there, so losing a little bit of that lead.
Oh boy, if he's going to do fast Frankie walk, you'll see him kill the frog early, pretty much on top of the... Oh no.
Oh, so he baited that Frankie a little too far right, and it got caught under that overhanging piece of wood. And when he went back to try to lure it out, he went a little too quickly, and those Frankies are deadly. Clearly, he had a chair with him. Meanwhile, Sigma looking smooth through the entire thing, and he is on to Death Glide.
Man, that is just tragic. That's something that can unfortunately happen, that the Frankie can just kind of get stuck under there, and I don't know, maybe it's a tiny bit of nerves, maybe it's just bad luck. The question is, wait.
I didn't even see how Sigma died there. Did he go for Death Glide?
No, he didn't go for, I don't think he went for Death Glide. He just hit some spikes, or some brambles, I should say.
Just moved a little too far to the right.
My God.
Okay, and just like that, Hydra back in the lead.
Wow.
A couple very, very quick lead changes there. And Hydra messing up. Okay, looks like he got back up to the top on time. He killed the Frankie a little early, but managed to save it. So hopefully he gets through Death Glide or Death Run cleanly this time.
Very important to point out, both of them are watching the restream. Sigma, I don't think, is watching Speed Gaming chat, but he is watching the restream. So Hydra, as we saw, did not go for fast Frankie walk on the second attempt, maybe because his XP was off, but probably just because he wanted to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, he gets a safety save down, and he's down to sort of past the really dangerous time losses. So good on him, and we'll see Sigma coming up on the area where he died last time. So looks like he is playing it a little safer and getting through just fine. So he should be okay once he gets his safety save down.
Now on the left side of your screen, Hydra did miss his God cycle or early Grotto cycle, so that costs you about 8 seconds. If Sigma can get it, that'll be a chance to catch up. Absolutely.
Sigma with getting his safety save down fine. So hopefully no more heart attack deaths for the time being. Hydra getting a nice ghost door, gets the spider shot death there. Saves just a tiny fraction of a second, but it's always fun to get.
Sigma got a very clean God cycle. Previously, he had only gotten it one time, and so very good job by him. He's still behind Hydra, but that'll be about 8 seconds caught up. While Hydra is onward to his blind movement following double jump, Sigma just got his ghost door. Still not too far behind, certainly within the realm of on a stake or two to catch up.
Yeah, and we'll get a little high five there. Oh, nice save from Hydra. Those walls eat wall jumps like no other. The way it's angled there, or it will just sort of slip off and you'll lose a jump. That was an excellent save to not take any damage there and get out cleanly.
If you had just ever seen me black out, remind me to breathe. This is too intense. Sigma's also made it to double jump and is doing his blind movement, where Hydra got a very nice first try grotto skip.
First try grotto skip, and he gets sort of the quick jump off the side of the platform instead of going to the top. That's very nice to see.
Looks like a deficit of about 21 seconds right now. Sigma, I'm sure, didn't want to be this far behind early on, but he has plenty of time to potentially catch up, especially, as you mentioned, Sigma's been practicing his late game like a monster, I think.
Mm-hmm. And you see a slightly different grotto skip execution there from Sigma. He doesn't jump off the side and goes to the top. However, he also skips the experience because he dunked a Frankie earlier and got some extra. So overall, if you do it that way, I think it's about the same. to the way Hydra did it. But you see sort of just two different methods. They both got it first try though, so very nice job from both of them.
What do you think we can expect going towards against a tree? Anything particularly fancy? Any differences in strats?
Mentioned earlier, Hydra does go for, I think, a lot more of those sort of neutral jumps. Every time you see him going to the top of a platform, you see him do a little backflip. That's him trying to save a little time. He also went for a slime dash there. If you get your dash timed properly, like your distance to the slime, you can actually dash and damage boost through it instead of away from it. He messed it up a little bit, and a nice terrain ramp through that leaf. That's something that I don't know if he plans to do that, but I know he always dashes off of that leaf there and maybe just hopes for it. It's something that I've never gotten consistently, but I have gotten it, a number of times. So it's definitely something that is you can go for if you're trying to save a little time.
Well, Hydra is making a quick detour, pulling out the rock here to go activate a spirit well. If you aren't familiar with the run, it might look odd, but he's just activating it so that he can teleport back later. Nice! Oh, that was a spooky
Oh my
wide.
gosh. So he gets the quick cycle coming out of there and then leaves the rock a little close, but still manages to dash underneath it. I've never managed to save that when I leave it too close. I always just get stuck and get hit by the spike. So that is an excellent save from him.
That's pretty spooky too. It's pretty easy to get. You only have 3 health, and the little spinny purple things do 2 damage, so it's pretty easy to get killed.
Absolutely. Sigma picking up that same cycle, so very nice from him. And he'll be coming up to, quick death from Hydra. He'll have to go in and out of Ginso Tree. He waits there on the outside to let the cutscene that they just skipped finish, and then goes back in to restart. So a little time save for Sigma if he can manage to not take a death or anything on the first room here.
Prior to that death, they had about a 25-second difference between them. Hydra had a 12:48 Ginso entry, and it looks like Sigma had a 13:02.
Oh no. Hydra going for telehops, he gets them, but accidentally does not land on the platform he was meaning to, does not reset his jump, so just falls off and takes another death in the second room. Maybe a little flustered there from the first sort of mess up.
Oh, look how close they are.
What a nice safety save, though. That
Sigma also took damage.
That safety save in the second room that he did. Oh gosh, Hydra, please just get to the top.
Good God. Make a safety save. It's worth the energy. He did it. Safety save is down. Sig, we'll see if he makes a similar
dodge
one.
from Sigma, and he is also to the top. So let's see if he lays down a save. He does as he goes through that. So, oh my gosh, some definitely not standard movement from them on that second room. But I think they probably lost similar amounts of time. Or actually, Sigma probably lost less time because it looks like he's closer than when they went into that room.
Looks like neither of them are going for the fancy Mr. Asmus cyclist. It's like a half second, I think.
Yeah, and especially since they dropped that safety save, immediately after the second room. Their save is not off cooldown, so maybe if they had gotten clean movement up until that point, they would have gone for it. But after all that, it's probably not worth trying to go for it.
Right. Well, both of them are on the mini boss, and for anyone unfamiliar, the mini boss is a small source of RNG in Ori. It's not that much RNG overall in terms of time loss, but it's probably the biggest single RNG segment in the run. Looks like Hydra got through it just fine, and Sigma using a scroll wheel to just plink this little mini boss to death.
I think, they're both using scroll wheel. But yeah, I think they both got 5 cycles, so no time loss from either of them, except for maybe something minor with the spawn times.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, God, please.
Just get it. Okay, he's up.
Oh, my heart can't take this. Now, Hydra did take damage, so he's going to have to change his strat slightly in this room, which he is aware of. Good job. That teleporter can be pretty finicky.
Yeah, so Sigma just seconds behind as they come through these teleporters. They'll do another ghost door. Hydra going for hyperspeed. Sigma did not. He did not get hyperspeed, though, so they are just about frame for frame as they come into Bash.
Oh,
this has been an eventful as hell Ginso Tree so far.
It's tied.
I cannot believe what's going on. I need to take a breather.
My goodness, Hydra's what, like... Oh my God. Sigma might... They're freaking frame for frame. This is unbelievable.
We'll see if either of them pick up an extra cycle here. It looks like Hydra might have picked up an extra cycle, yeah. And so Sigma losing a little bit of time there. I can't tell, maybe it was an extra cycle, but just cleaner movement from him. I didn't quite catch it. But they're coming up to their key dupe now, so let's hope that they manage to settle down and get this clean key dupe in. Because this is another place where, if your movement's a little off, you can, lose your keys if you, forget to rekindle your save or something.
Looks like Hydra got it just fine, falling right into the spikes, and Sigma did exactly the same thing. Good job by both of them. Hydra pulling away just a little bit, but it's still only a few seconds.
I can't believe he went for that bounce pad dash. It is nuts.
These strats are scary anyway, much less at 3 health.
Yeah, and you'll see Hydra tries to set up a hyperspeed. Looks like he got it. Very nice from him. And Sigma just seconds behind with the same hyperspeed going through the door.
This is unreal. All right, well, next up is Core Skip. They've killed the mini boss Hydra with a nice double bash. I'm guessing we'll see Sigma do the same.
No, we Sigma
won't.
looks like he's using that new no double dash method where you, I think it saves just the bash time if you can get it at the same speed. So no time difference there.
Right now, they're going to be killing this frog in a particular place and then picking up the experience, dashing towards the bramble and using the level up explosion to take out both sides at once. Hydra got it just fine and did it very quickly too.
Yeah, Hydra got the sort of 2 bash method. Sigma had to do a 3rd bash to get it up to the top, so just a tiny bit of time lost there, but they're both successful through there. At least we didn't have to see them reload or anything if they mess it up. So great to see, and they're both on to one of the best sections of the game, the Ginso Escape.
This is so interesting to me. It seems like, generally speaking, I don't know. I mean, we went into this knowing that it was going to be close, but I didn't expect it to be this close. It seems like every time they're tied, Hydra seems to pull away by just a few seconds, but then he's been making these tiny little mistakes that give Sig the opportunity to catch back up.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sigma, I think I was talking to him, I forget whose stream it was yesterday, but he said, expect a spaghetti fest tomorrow. And clearly he had some sort of, insider knowledge, because there's certainly been a number of mistakes, but they have managed to stay within, 5 to 10 seconds of each other this entire time. So we'll see as they get out of Ginso here.
Both of them went
for the next section, how the run goes.
Right. Both of them went for a kind of swag little bash up to the lantern saves, not much time at all. And they're both out. They'll be turning on their UI for just a moment. This little dialogue that you'll see Hydra mashing through and Sigma momentarily is, I think, the only dialogue you see in the game. For whatever reason, if you don't enable UI there, Ori stands in place for like 10 seconds.
Yeah, Hydra going for another hyperspeed through this ghost door. Looks like he got it. Oh, did he do that on purpose? Is he going fish strats on purpose? I know when he messes up, he goes for fish strats, but it almost looked like he went under that platform and went for fish strats on purpose, just because he can. Now another excellent save from him. And interesting double bash. I guess that's probably saves time. I've never actually thought of doing that on the sort of bailout there.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Hydra went for a damage boost, and it kind of knocked him the wrong way. So a good adaptation by him, as you mentioned, to stay alive and just grab the sort of normal route by bashing off the worm's projectile. But again, he pulled away a little bit, and then Sigma's kind of right back in it. Next up is Drainless or Brainless, but my God, this is absolutely...
With the way this race has been going, you never know.
I don't know. Maybe nerfs factoring into this more than we would have expected, given that this is a semifinal race.
Yeah, and you see Hydra coming up to it right now. That actually looked extremely clean, so no issues from him. And here comes Sigma just 4 or 5 seconds behind, maybe. Very nice from him as well.
Mm-hmm. Now, are they going to be Wow, my goodness. Are they both going to be going for 5 energy, do you know?
Oh, absolutely. I think at this stage, that's almost... you don't even have to ask that unless you're just giving me easy questions so I can sound smart on stream. But they will be coming up to that fairly soon. Before that, we will see the Kuro cutscene skip, which I'm not sure what their histories are, and now I am sure. They're both 100% on Kuro cutscene, as Hydra goes through it cleanly, no issues, and Sigma just a moment behind. And very nice from him.
Good.
There was no sort of what am I trying to say? Messing around there, hesitation on that movement. They ran up and they had the spot down right off the bat. So good exit from Hydra, and Sigma looks good as well.
Oh my God.
Okay, good bailout on that damage boost.
To be completely honest, I thought those spikes did 2 damage, and so I thought that was a rip for Sigma, but it wasn't, thankfully.
Yeah, he probably could have, saved that and, still gotten back to the top, but taking the safe route there and just bailing off to the right, probably a smart play from him.
Right, Hydra has picked up Charge Flame, and you'll notice that he already has his save anywhere open. He has that open to skip the Spirit Tree cutscene, having a little trouble bashing out. Looks like we're going to see the same from Sigma. Opening up the save anywhere earlier prevents you having to stop, make a save, and open it up later. Saves minimal amounts of time.
It also saves, I believe, the stomp time going through this wall that he's about to go through. So you'll see him use Charge Flame probably the only time in the run to get through that wall and continue on. And Sigma just moments behind doing the same thing. Very nice. And now they'll be stomping this pillar to gain access to sort of the next big area of the game, which is Sorrow Pass.
Right, Sorrow Pass is a particularly spooky area for a lot of its own reasons. There's a lot of spikes that do 4 damage, which, well, I mean, they have 3 health, so they'll one-shot them. And there's a lot of very precise movement. It's also pretty interesting because there are some relatively newer strats like Crazy Juggle, which both of them will be going for, I believe, but it's just sort of the more new strats you find, you take an already scary area in the form of Sorrow Pass and you make it scarier and scarier by adding all these new strats. Sigma in particular is going to go for something else once it gets to Sorrow Bash, but first we have Fast Stompless. Both of them have missed it 1 time in this tournament. Hydra's going to come up to it first. Let's see if you can get it correctly.
That looked very clean. And very nice movement going back to the right. He will wait on this last spider shot and go up to collect an ability cell just in time for the cutscene to trigger. I didn't catch Sigma's shot. A little shaky movement from him. Let's see if he can save it. He's got, okay, good double dash.
God.
And
yes,
very nice from him.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Double bashes thankfully can save you there because whenever you're in like the bash animation holding it, all the sort of projectiles in the game pause. So it wasn't like he was losing any time doing that double bash. It just sort of gives him extra movement speed to get up to that cell. So very nice adaptation from him after having a little shaky movement trying to get a bash glide past that spider. And little bash bug from Hydra thankfully doesn't cost him any damage. He gets up to start his Sorrow Bash cleanly.
Don't blink or you'll miss it. This section goes by very, very fast. It's very, very crazy. If you... Oh my God, he did it! He did it!
Hydra did the new Sorrow Bash method as well.
Watch Sigma. On the right side, he's going to try the same thing.
Let's hope so. Ooh, that...
No, he's not.
Ooh, his burn was a little low, so he went to the old method. But very nice save from him. So Hydra maybe saved like a second there going for that new bash.
Okay.
Or Sorrow Bash. But,
Hydra is fast on his way through Crazy Juggle, where he's doing a series of charge dashes into a stomp cancel. Each stomp that he has to cancel has a 2-frame window to get through it cleanly. And so he has to do a bunch of those in a row. He did it just fine. Next up, a rocket jump up to the top. Very clean execution. Sigma is not far behind. They make this trick look easy, but oh my God, it is not.
Especially going across these platforms here. If you position your frog wrong and like throw it up so it's almost landing on the platform, it can get sort of stuck there. And you'll just dash right into it. Excellent. Oh, did he mismanage his energy?
Must have.
But, oh, okay. He's past the lasers. So yeah, Sigma maybe mismanaging his energy there. I didn't catch that, but he will have to float slowly
Oh my
to the top.
God.
Whoa.
We're watching the Sunstone cutscene.
It has been so long since I've seen this before. There's too much going on right now, but Hydra looks like he either... I don't know, save too early, or I didn't catch exactly what happened. But either way, he will not be able to save and skip the cutscene.
He didn't make a save. To be honest, I missed it. I apologize to our lovely viewers. There was too much action going on. Sigma does have his save anywhere open, so he'll be able to skip this cutscene just fine. There it is.
Yeah, so Sigma should be taking a lead here, a pretty significant one, maybe 10 or 15 seconds. We'll have to see. I'm actually not familiar with exactly how long this cutscene is.
My goodness, maybe the nerves are getting to them. This is unbelievable right now. Sigma he's going to be pulling away here with a little bit of a sizable lead because this is a long cutscene. There's a reason that we skip it.
Yeah, Sigma is already on to the next ability in the game. He'll be getting Charge Jump, which is sort of the first part in one of the very new strats that I guess we'll talk about in a second when we get to it.
Yeah.
But he is just has one last section here to escape from Sorrow, and he will be on to Misty, which is the next section. Excellent little movement to exit there. He actually gets stuck on the door. He was too fast. Getting
word from the truck that they had about a 50-second difference at the point where Hydra exited that cutscene. That cutscene is like 70 seconds long. It's pretty brutal when you have to watch it. Hydra with a nice ghost door getting towards charge jump, so no problems there, although the next section is no walk in the park, that's for sure. To manage your energy optimally, you have to get through a lot of this section without making any safety saves.
Yeah, and Sigma has already dumped 1 energy on accident, it looks like. And he missed the cell, so we have to charge jump back up. Good on him realizing that. So he'll have to do a little bit slower strats through the entrance to Misty there because he lost an energy early. But no major issues from him.
Right now, it's basically Sigma's game to take if he can just keep up this pace. This is a very sizable lead late game. I don't think that Sigma's going to get another mistake of that magnitude from Hydra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you saw he had to do a little slow movement after that rocket jump. But now he's back to sort of, I guess, where he would normally be. Maybe hoping they do have an extra energy for a safety save. So he, We coming through this last section with no safety saves so far.
Misty Woods is an area that ordinarily is slight. Oh no!
Oh, unfortunate. Hydra maybe, thinking he has to, pull out all the stops, go as quick as possible, and it's just a little too quick and takes an unfortunate death on those spikes there.
That's really, really unfortunate. I was about to say the spikes in Misty do 3 damage. So ordinarily, if you're doing a 4 health run, which most runners do, you can survive 1 shot at full health, but not at 3 health. You touch any spikes and it's just insta-death. And as I mentioned, you can't really make any safety saves.
Yeah, Sigma is safely down to climb. So, any thoughts of him taking, a minute-long death or so out of the window there, he is on to the next sort of section of the game. Meanwhile, Hydra's still doing his entrance to Misty.
Right, to reiterate, they are both watching the restream, so Sigma knows how far he's ahead, and conversely, Hydra knows how much he's behind. So Vuligin in the truck just told me that that Sigma's going for sort of maybe some slightly, safer strats. I can't even speak, just the hype is messing up my vocal cords.
It's interesting that safety save. He's done that 2 races in a row before that platforming movement, and last race it saved him a ton of time. Looks like he's just made it a habit at this point, maybe because he has a little extra energy, might as well.
Yeah, Sigma, assuming he doesn't make any mistakes, is going to be coming up on his mini boss pretty soon. We'll see what strat he goes for to kill that thing, where Hydra is approaching climb. Looks like he didn't have any mistakes his second time through Misty, although man, he has quite a deficit to catch up.
Yeah, as we're getting, obviously into the last sections of the run, Hydra really has to sort of hope for a mistake from Sigma. As good as he is, there's just no way to make up that time without some sort of mistake.
Sigma looked like he took that mini boss very safe. I'm not sure if he tried to go for boom, 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 and maybe was mispositioned, or whether he just opted to kill them one at a time since he knows what kind of lead he has. Hydra is playing well for the most part. Besides that little mistake, he had a nice meteor kick down. Sigma got the same thing, and Sigma's fast on his way out of Misty Woods.
Yeah, after climbs, Hydra's been looking very nice. I haven't seen any movement mistakes from him. Everything's looking very clean. We'll see if he, opts to put any safety saves down, or maybe if he's in, the mindset of I just have to not die at all to have any chance of making up this deficit.
I mean, there are still mistakes to be made in the run. There is Lost Grove on the way to Light Grenade, where you can take a death to lasers if you're not careful. Although I would be surprised if we saw that. Yoka Cycle at this point is relatively straightforward for runners of this caliber.
And Hydra, interesting, actually does, I think, probably the same strat that Sigma did for the mini boss there. Usually he goes for not much faster, but a faster strat called Bang Bang Pow. Actually bailed out and did, I believe that's the old sort of vanilla quick kill.
Anyway, Sigma on his way to Light Burst. We might have had a slight hiccup in our restream, so bear with us for just a moment. But Sigma hasn't made any major mistakes so far that I've seen.
Yeah, he is down at Light Burst, and so he has the last ability in the game, and all he has to do now is get to the final escape.
Yeah, Hydra accidentally fell down and had a nice adaptation on a rocket jump to get back up, but that's losing him precious time that he does not have to spare at this point. Well, Sigma's... Sure. Oh, God!
Oh, man. I saw him hover there, and I was like, is he waiting for a cycle? Very nice from him to get through that cycle on the laser.
Now, Hydra doing something here that most runners don't go for, and we didn't see Sig go for it. Hydra opened up his Save Anywhere very early, and he's going to be using it to skip the Prejudiced Father cutscene later in this section without having to make an additional save. Saves him a little bit of energy, I think. Yeah,
he actually did this. The Save Anywhere started it earlier than I've even seen him ever do previously. Oh, little camera hiccup from Sigma. You went. Sometimes your Ori will target that slime above you when you charge dash and throw you off for a second. Good recovery from him.
Well, man, there's not much room left. Sigma very quickly approaching Mount Horu, where he's having a little trouble with his bashes, but he's gonna be doing Door Warp. That's the frame perfect trick. We're pretty sure that you're mentioning that Sigma mashes it and then times it or something.
Yeah, I believe he mashes it using a scroll wheel and also times it on a separate key as well. Trying to get the best of both worlds. So, and he's had fairly good success with it in the tournament. I believe he's got a bunch of first tries, a couple second tries.
Now, Hydra with some incredibly clean movement. He got a very nice rocket jump, sort of something that I think Jiminy discovered pretty recently.
And popularized for sure.
Yeah, so Hydra still with a very large deficit, but he is just playing as fast as he possibly can. On the right side of your screen, pay attention to Sigma. He's going to try Door Warp.
Yeah, so he's trying to press this button on the first frame that he's loading back into the game. A little menuing, sorry, hiccups as well. But he misses it the first try, going for it again.
He's having some trouble with it. Didn't get it third try either. Man, this is giving Hydra maybe a chance. Fourth try.
Hydra is coming through Horror Fields, quickly charging back. But Sigma into the final escape now. He has to watch a little cutscene, and then he will do the final set of movement in the game.
So here's a question. They are both watching the restream. Sigma knows how far he's ahead. There is one more major trick at the end of this. It's called the grenade jump. It saves about 35 seconds, but it's also pretty finicky. It's frame perfect, and it has a chance to soft lock, at which point you have to redo the entire escape. So I would expect that we're still going to see Sigma go for it, but I wonder if he might consider skipping it. I'm not exactly sure what kind of time it would get it. Did Hydra just get first try?
I didn't quite catch that. It looks like it was first try. But Sigma has said that with that trick in the game, there's no, like, that's the reason that he watches the stream.
Okay.
So if he thinks he has the time to spare, he will definitely skip it, I think. It just depends, like, how closely he's watching the stream, like what he thinks his lead is. What does he estimate his lead is right now?
Well, I mean, with Hydra's first try door up, he's pretty close. Looks like Sigma is going for it. He's going to perch on the wall, load up a charge jump, and then try to throw a grenade at the precise time. And he's in there. I think that's it.
It looks good to me.
I think that's it.
There's a few like edge cases where Ori won't get up, but it looks like Ori did get up, and we are in there for Sigma. So congratulations to him. That was an excellent run, keeping us in suspense the whole way through almost, as Hydra getting to the end of his escape. So we'll see probably the same trick come out from him.
That was incredibly solid execution by Sigma. That trick is not as easy as he made it look. Oh, and Hydra actually spawned Kuro, so he has to wait for Kuro to go away before he can go and set up his grenade jump.
Looks like Kuro's coming back, lining up. And
oh my God!
Oh no, he got the soft lock. He was maybe just a little too high there on his positioning. Oh my gosh.
That is so unfortunate.
So clutch. I believe he got that in his, maybe not his most recent PB, but one of his more recent PBs, he did that same thing. That's such a dramatic end. Unfortunately, the soft lock sort of ruins the dramatic Kuro coming across the scene ending. But we'll get to see some nice escape movement from him again as he finishes out this run. And by this point, I feel like he's got to know that, he's got to know that Sigma's done. So it's all for pride at this point.
I mean, he knows not only from the restream, but from the SRL race where Hydra can now see that Sigma's finished. Sigma with the final time of 33:22. I love that everyone's gotten so good at Ori that that's like a mediocre time for someone at this caliber. It's like, oh, it's not a 31 or a 32. But still an incredible performance by him and a very, very nice grenade jump at the end. Hydra's grenade jump would have been incredible. Is he going to go for fish strats?
Looks like we got some fish strats coming up. And very nice. So Hydra's in there to the escape. So it doesn't go for grenade jump the second time, showing a slightly older strat, and I call it fish strats, which is a fan favorite, of course.
Very solid performance by Hydra as well. Just some unfortunate mistakes, some rough deaths. I mean, without that cutscene up at Sunstone, this might have been quite a bit closer because that gave Sigma a really solid lead, allowed him to play a little bit safer.
Yeah, I believe that cutscene, I'm trying to remember. The truck was trying to tell me, but I can't remember now. I think it's around 90 seconds or so, a minute and a half maybe. And looking at the time difference between this run, these two runs, that is just about what it is. It's a little higher than that, but absolutely nuts that maybe, that one thing, obviously there were other mistakes in the run, but maybe that one thing could have sort of turned the tides.
Mm-hmm. As we all know, fish strats save 7 hours. So Hydra with a negative 6.5 hour time. But all joking aside, Sigma will take the victory here. We will be interviewing Sigma shortly here. We're just going to wait for Hydra to finish up. All he has to do is run right with Naru. His time ends on final input when Naru passes by this foreground tree. Yeah,
so just 3 or 4 more seconds here. And looks like he will get doing some nice swag jumps there. 35-40 from Hydra. So obviously not ideal, not what he was looking for, but that's what happens in Ori. You make a couple mistakes early and maybe you get in this mindset of now I have to go faster, now I have to, can't take any safety saves, and sort of compounds as the run goes on. I know I certainly had races where that happened. And that's why I'm not, in the semifinals right now, why I got knocked out earlier.
Right. Well, we do have the winner, Mr. Sigma himself, here with us. Sigma, the obvious question, how the hell are you?
Well, I would just like to take a moment to say hello to everybody and welcome everybody to Spaghetti Saturday. Hydra and I are your chefs, and we've got lots of spaghetti for everybody.
Spaghetti all around. What were you thinking? Sig, you were watching the restream, right?
Yeah.
What were you thinking when you saw that Sunstone cutscene from Hydra?
Well, it's like, that's kind of fitting that kind of thing would happen in a race that had already been like that. And at that point, I was like, well, I won. Like, he can't make up that much time as possible. So.
I noticed you.
Although I also thought that when I saw him die to like the Frankie walk, I was like, oh, I got this. I just need to chill out and not dash straight into a spore. And it didn't go so well, did it?
I mean, it was just incredible. There were sort of some unfortunate mistakes back and forth, but I mean, you both kept your cool. I mean, those mistakes can happen, but I guess a question I'll ask you, how did you feel before this race in terms of nerves, or especially after some of those early mistakes? Did you feel more nervous than usual, or were you just sort of in focus mode?
I wasn't actually all that nervous for this race. I kind of went into it with the mentality that like Hydra's an insane player and I can, do my best and get a 31, but he might still win. Like, I was not thinking that the race was going to go like this at all. But I was going in with the mentality of I just want to get a good time for myself, and if I lose, I lose. But it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. So you mentioned after that cutscene miss from Hydra, you said you felt like the race was yours in the bag, but it looked like you didn't change any of your Misty strats. You were still doing a lot of the very quick rocket jumps, the early cycle on that platform. So did you think about changing strats at all, or were you just thinking, these are the strats I know, this is what I'm going to do?
No, I had saves. I even played it a little bit more safe than normal because I saved before going backwards out of the Sorrow Bash area. I was like, well, if I die to spikes here and go back to charge jump, that would suck. So maybe I'll just place like some extra saves in Misty. So I did stop and get an energy crystal so I could save an additional time. But then on the way out, I was like, I got enough safety saves in Misty and I have a pretty big lead, so I'll just play the way I normally play.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you definitely looked pretty strong there coming in towards the end. And another, I believe it was a first try grenade jump there. So clearly showing that you've mastered that new trick.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna do the grenade jump until I got can't even remember how many door warps it took. But I was like, he might be within 30 seconds now, so I guess I have to do it.
That's hilarious. We talked about that. Hydra got first try door warp, you got fourth. And so we were thinking like you might have been able to win even if you didn't do it, and even if Hydra got it first try.
I was actually looking over at the stream during my escape, and I think it was like when I was in the second room, I was like, okay, if he gets first try door warp, I'll grenade jump, because I think he might be too close. And if he misses it, then I won't. And I saw it, and it's like, that's first try, I guess I have to do it. I spent like a really long time setting it up, just to be sure I wouldn't soft lock, but I was like, well, I can't leave it open.
Yeah, well, oh boy, I mean, I guess we can just keep talking about that race forever, but looking forward, you get to face a robot in your next match. How do you feel about that?
I need to play a lot better than this to have a chance there. I need to play like to the level I played against Elo Jiminy and then some.
Is there any specific parts of the run you think you're going to practice, or you're just going to sort of keep the sort of same practice that you've been doing so far throughout the tournament?
I don't think I'm going to focus like very specifically on one part. I feel pretty good about the run overall, but I'm probably like my practice is just going to be PB attempts basically for the next week leading up until the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
Well, speaking of finals, we have a very special someone here in voice with us who can tell us a little bit more about the plans for the remainder of this tournament, because there's not that much left. Hello,
that is correct, Grim. Indeed. So first of all, I just have to say that the commentary today was fantastic. So thank you to Grim and Stefu, you guys, as well as Roos and Fent. And of course, the races were also amazing. So thanks to Het and Epicat and Sigma and Hydra for giving us two extremely action-packed and starch-packed, I guess, races over the course of the afternoon. So yeah, I did just want to tell you guys what we've been thinking about for the finals and what we're planning to do. We're looking to have the finals next weekend. That is going to be the targeted dates are going to be Friday, April 28th, and Saturday, September. Wow, good lord, April 29th. We're not going until September. I would like to finish this tournament ever. But our times are not yet sorted out. We will have to communicate with the various runners and just make sure that we have availabilities and times of day and stuff sorted out. But our goal is to present the following to you guys next weekend. First, a race between the 5th through 8th place finishers, the 4 losing runners from the round of 8. And we will be looking to just have a 4-way race where all of them will go up against one another. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be for fun. Obviously, not a huge amount of bragging rights in terms of 5th place, except there are 3 Europeans in that race, and they're all vying for that coveted best European in Ori trophy. So we'll be looking forward to that. After that, not necessarily on the same day, but we'll figure it out. We are going to have a 3rd place race between our 2 competitors today, Epic Cat and Hydra, and they will compete to see whose waifu is the best waifu. And finally, of course, we will have the finals. We will almost certainly have the finals on Saturday, April 29th. We have not picked a time of day yet. They will be best of 3, so it will not simply be one instance of Hetfield smashing Sigma. You will get to watch at least 2. I just wanted to slip that one in there and see.
I was gonna say, like, Sigma's here with us. Like,
I have nothing to say to defend myself. That's what's going to happen. In the planning thing, we were talking like, what if we did a best of 5 finals? And I was like, who wants to get rolled by Hetfield 3 times in a row? Seriously.
Oh, goodness. And prior to that best of 3, we will also be planning to have a lengthy pre-show where we're going to go back through the entire tournament. We're going to bring you back to some of the awesome moments that we've had right from the start. The race between Trojan and Terra that started us all off way back in February, and coming all the way to the last couple races that we're going to have next week. So it's going to be awesome, and make sure that you guys set your time aside next weekend. Again, Friday, April 28th, and or Saturday, April 29th. We're going to be looking to get those scheduled. If you stay tuned to either my Twitter, at Voligen, or to the Ori schedule, which we will put in chat momentarily using the !Ori command, you will be able to keep posted on that, and we will announce when that is scheduled. So stick around for that. It's going to be awesome. Grim, Stafu, take us away here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vol'jin, for summing all of that up. I'm really glad you did that because it's still kind of up in the air. Obviously, we had to wait until these matches are done before we could schedule a lot of that. But as Vol'jin mentioned, we'll keep everyone posted. But in the meantime, both of those semifinal races were, I mean, just insane. And when you're playing at this high level, it's just so cool to watch. We'll have more Ori for you next week. So a very good job by the runners today, and great job to Roos and Fant on the commentary on the previous one. Any closing thoughts from you?
Closing thoughts. I can't wait for next week. I've already, ordered some more pizza. I'll have another pizza party, and we'll close out this tournament in style.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our matches today. We'll have more for you next week, and that'll about do it for us today. Pleasure commentating with you and meeting you in person, and thank you for bringing pizza.
Absolutely. You too, Grim.
Have a good evening, everyone.
Later, guys.
Just watch Roos go through this death water.
Trojan getting trolled by that Rocky position as well.
Oh, no!
That's gonna put him very significantly behind.
If you can get it, that's a little bit more time made up. All right.
Trying
Looks
to
like a
go
good wall
for it.
run. He's
Oh no!
I can't.
Oh
believe that.
no, not like this.
Bad luck for Riven. That is a one-frame death, and we are not lying when we say that.
Does a setup for it that's a very fast attempt at it. Oh, Meldon, please!
Oh, what a dodge by Meldon!
Wow.
Yeah, I think they didn't mean for anybody to ever see these. Did you just see what Rufus did in that key?
I have never seen that. Is that faster?
Is that faster? And he died right in this part where they are.
Look
right
at this.
now.
Red Bull gets the spider shot through and retakes the lead.
Jumping up the same wall as each other. Now we're going to see a difference in strats, which makes no difference whatsoever.
And Randomson has a little bit faster movement, and he is in the lead.
Holy smokes!
Potion leave QI on?
Oh no, he did.
He's going into some fish strats. Let's go.
This is actually faster. If
Oh, Jesus! Lord Hydra.
well, that's definitely not faster.
If she gets a couple of deaths here and gets frustrated and starts to make more mistakes, this could be Meldon's window. Okay, that's...
Oh,
this is
what a
fine.
save!
What a save! That was fantastic.
And now they are tied frame for frame again.
Oh my gosh, the break at the same time. Rocket jump.
Monthly rocket jumping a little bit sooner, but not as
Jesus
fast.
was better.
She's ahead.
So he is still right on his tail there.
Sigma didn't lose it.
Oh! What a value safety save! Sigma dropping it right before his death. Absolutely. I'm bringing up the stats right now, and it looks like with... Oh, no! I can't because Tara took a death and now is just only a couple seconds ahead of Lucy.
Target where his cheese is on his way to Misty Woods. He's going to be going to wow!
Oh, Raziel, no!
Oh my God, Raziel!
Raziel, no!
I can't believe it.
Oh my God, Raziel!
Oh my god, this is just better than I could have possibly hoped for. This race is so unbelievably close. Oh, Smashy, what are you doing?
What happened? What happened?
Oh. And you have to escape. Wait. Oh no, he bonks unfortunately. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's tight.
This is
Precise position, precise aim, precise timing. It's frame perfect.
He fails at the first try, but he does recover, and he's going to be trying it again. He's still ahead of Sigma. He doesn't get it the second time. He's going to be coming for it now. Sigma has 2 attempts at this, and he is on it at the same time. And Sigma the third time. Sigma takes the race on grenade jump.
right at the end here. It's a really, really swag strat that only saves 2 seconds and has the potential to lose you over a minute.
He's going for it again.
He's going for it again. The absolute madman.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh no!
Brindle's in the lead! Guys, okay, let's see if Brindle goes for fish strats. If he just plays it safe, he has this in the bag. He can't lose from here. He's not doing fish strats. Brindle's got this, guys.